Butterfree, go!
Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. Bring you guys another episode of our Pokemon Road to Masterball Tier here, where I climb the online VGC ladder with an awesome Trick Room team and try to get to the Masterball Tier. If you guys didn't check out the last episode yet, we had a really cool matchup with Torkoal and Vileplume, and I'm going to be keeping that same team going, but I am working on some new Pokemon featuring like Dusclops here. I've got a Hitmontop team that I'm working on and things like that, so we're going to kind of mix it up. I did decide to actually put the Berry on our HATTERENE as well to try to counteract all those Duraludons that are kind of running around, but that's going to be the team, so be sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe if you guys are new, and let's jump into our first episode here. So again, that Berry is there to stop those Duraludons. A lot of people are running Stalwart Duraludon to try to knock out HATTERENE on the first turn, so it can't set up Trick Room, but in our case, we're going to try to counter that by countering that. So let's do it. So we're going to jump into ranked. I didn't do any warm-ups or anything like that. We're just going to go right into the battles here. You see we're here in Great Ball Tier. We'll update, and I guess it would have updated anyway, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to get to the next tier, and then, oh yeah, I should probably do the other layout. That's a good call. Didn't even have the right layout, chat. Look at me go. Boom. Okay, now we do, so it's all good. Didn't even do the right layout. All right, if we get some W's here, we should be in pretty good shape. Yeah, we can show our team. It's fine. We should be able to get to the next next tier here if we get 3 W's in a row, I think. So that is going to be our team. And again, I will continue to change up the team. I'm working on getting some of the Pokemon. Obviously, I'm playing the game legit, so it takes me a little longer. But so far, 17 wins, 5 losses. Not too shabby there. And like I said, if we can win 2, or if we win 3 games, I definitely think we're going to Ultra Ball. If we win 2 games, then we might, you know, stay in Great Ball. But we'll see. We're getting there. I am going to start uploading this series more frequently, so if you guys want to see double episodes a day, let me know in the comments section below, of course. But let's see what our opponent here has got and what they are going to be bringing. So we got Barry, and he's got rank 8 just like us. Let's see what he's got. He's got a very similar team to me, so it seems we are battling it out. He's got a Hawlucha, which is pairing with the Indeedee, so we are going Trick Room against Trick Room, it looks like, which should be quite fun. I think I'm going to, thank you Solitary for the $10 tip, says hi YouTube. Let's think about this. I think Torkoal's incredible here, for sure. Definitely gonna try to utilize Torkoal. I think we just go Trick Room. The other option is I go Vileplume, but if my opponent leads Indeedee Hawlucha, I'm in trouble, so I think I'm gonna go with, I think I'm gonna lead Torkoal, actually, and HATTERENE, because I think the 2 of those can actually put in a lot of work. And then I'm probably gonna lead, maybe bring Conk, and then maybe Mimikyu? How do I feel about Mimikyu in this matchup? Mimikyu might not be bad. Conkeldur's like kind of iffy. I don't really feel like Conkeldur's that good in this match. Oh, this is tough, because I actually think that Torkoal Vileplume would be so good against my opponent, but if my opponent brings the Hawlucha, I'm in trouble. So I'm definitely gonna bring Torkoal, HATTERENE. I don't really feel like I need Indeedee here. It doesn't really make sense. I think I bring Mimikyu as my last. That's my 3rd, and then I was gonna bring what? Conk, I think? Do I like Conk? Conk is like kind of not that good here, but it might be my only option. I might have to bring Conkeldurr. This is kind of a weird matchup for us. I'm not really feeling this matchup, but we'll see how it goes. My opponent is looking very dapper, by the way. And he's gonna lead Hawlucha Torkoal, so we had similar ideas, right? We like try to counter each other's counter here. I'm in a decent spot with this lead, though, because I can do some serious damage and try to knock out the Torkoal. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to Dynamax and just attack the Torkoal here. And then Eruption. Or Heat Wave, probably. So let's Heat Wave, because that'll hit the Hawlucha and it covers Switch. And then if I Dynamax and then Psychic, Max Mindstorm to the Torkoal, I can probably knock that out in 1 hit. And I should be faster than Torkoal. I might take a big hit from Hawlucha, but I don't anticipate the Hawlucha one-shotting me, especially since it hasn't lost its item yet. My opponent could switch out and go into Indeedee here and predict that and then get the Hawlucha's Berry and then go for a big flying move into my HATTERENE, but I don't think that that's the end of the world for me. So let's try that. My opponent may switch out into Indeedee, and they're definitely going to Dynamax their Hawlucha, So actually, this could be really bad. So what my opponent might do here is go for a flying move, boost the speed of the Torkoal, allow the Torkoal to then go for an Eruption, and pick up a double KO, and then I'm in a really bad spot. So I have a feeling that this is going to be a really bad turn for us, now that I think about it. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen here. I think my opponent is going to go for a flying move, boost the speed of Torkoal. Torkoal's gonna be faster then. It's gonna go for Eruption and get the double KO. Or at least the KO on the Hatterene. So, that was, I think that's what my opponent's doing here. I think that would be their optimal play, but let's see. This is why you play the games, right? Here comes the Max Use, so he actually goes for a Poison move. So that's gonna boost the special attack of the Torkoal. Doesn't do very much damage, and this might end up being a good turn for us. So he's got Poison Jab on his Hawlucha. I should be faster than Torkoal here, and I am, so we can max Mindstorm. And we actually one-shot the Torkoal there. Get rid of that thing. Get up the Psychic Terrain, and now I can Heat Wave into the Hawlucha here and get big damage. That is actually going to activate the Unburden on the Hawlucha though, which is kind of funny. But the Heat Wave is going to come off and hopefully not miss. And we get a nice chunk of damage on the Hawlucha. And a burn, which is massive. So, big hacks right there for us. That burn is insanely big. So, we take those. It ends up working out that I went for Heat Wave instead of Eruption simply because of the 10% burn chance. So, we will take those, man. We will take those. But that burn is huge because it pretty much completely cripples the Hawlucha and keeps it from being like a huge threat right now. But remember, I don't have Trick Room up at this point. I did get rid of the Torkoal. And Hawlucha being burned is very good. So, here comes Indeedee. So, my opponent is bringing Indeedee. I think what we're going to do here is we are going to just go for the Heat Wave again. And I am going to just go for the, probably the Mindstorm into the Hawlucha. Although the Hawlucha is not really a huge threat. I think I'm going to Starfall into the Indeedee and just Heat Wave. My opponent goes for the Max Ooze into the Hatterene. And as you can see, it does very little. It is going to boost the power of the Indeedee though. So the Indeedee might go for Trick Room. I don't know what the Indeedee is going to do here. Might just go for Psychic into Torkoal as well. Yeah, here comes the Psychic into the Torkoal slot, so that's fine. He's going to do a good amount of damage. It's just got a special attack boost. It's actually going to one-shot us, so definitely not the most ideal situation. But this is going to be a really powerful Max Starfall into the Indeedee, so should do a good chunk. Yeah, that did a lot of damage. So that's really good. And I get Misty Terrain up now, so now the statuses don't work. And the Hawlucha takes burn damage again. So I think I go Mimikyu here at this point. And save Conkeldurr in the back. Mimikyu can play rough into the Indeedee slot and knock that out. I can also try to set Trick Room at this point too. I don't think it's necessary. So I think I just play rough into the Indeedee slot and max probably Mindstorm into the... No, I think I'm going to Starfall into the Hawlucha slot. Although, yeah, I think that's probably my best play. Here comes the Max Use again into my, actually into my Mimikyu, so my opponent's probably going to double Mimikyu here. Now, I really need Mimikyu to not miss. I really need Mimikyu to not miss this attack. This play rough is very crucial because I need to get the KO on the Indeedee now. And I will outspeed it, so I need to knock out this Indeedee right now. Otherwise, I'm going to lose a Pokemon to its Psychic. And I don't miss, and we do pick up the KO. So I'm going to get a double knockout here, which is very strong. I did lose my Disguise, which is unfortunate, but this Max Starfall here should knock out the Hawlucha no problem. And the reason why I didn't want to set up Terrain, Psychic Terrain, is because I have a Mach Punch and Conkeldurr in the back, and I may need the Shadow Sneak and the Mach Punch. So I decided to go for the Fairy type move there to keep Misty Terrain up instead of going with Psychic Terrain. So we had a couple different options there, but that was ultimately... So it is Mimikyu, actually. So that's actually probably one of the scarier things for us to face, because my opponent can actually win the game now as a result. I think my best play here is actually just to Shadow Sneak the Mimikyu and probably Psychic the Mimikyu. That way I guarantee the Disguise is broken here, and then whenever my opponent attacks, I can at least make sure the Disguise is broken, so that way I can knock it out on the next turn. So here goes my Shadow Sneak. That's going to break the Disguise. And my Psychic will knock it out most likely if my opponent doesn't attack Hatterene here. But let's see what my opponent's going to do. Here comes the Shadow Claw into my Mimikyu slot. So we make the 1,000,000% the right play there. And because we made the right play, that's actually going to save us the game. Had I knock on for Shadow Sneak there, I probably would have lost the game. Well, I might have lost the game. But we do a lot of damage there, and now my opponent has to figure out how do I knock out two Pokemon at once with my Mimikyu, and they can't do that. My opponent is unable to knock out both my Conkeldurr and my Hatterene on the same turn. So I can simply Ice Punch and Psychic, and we should be able to seal the deal here. So we're going to Ice Punch the Mimikyu, and we are going to Psychic the Mimikyu. And my opponent can knock out one of my Pokemon, but not both. So my opponent is going to forfeit here, and we're going to pick up a nice W there. So really good match against a Trick Room team. Thank you, AJ, for the sub, by the way. Really good match against the Trick Room team there, where we had to kind of figure out, do we bring Trick Room or do we not? And it's kind of funny that two teams both using Trick Room never got set up. So kind of funny how that works. But we actually move up to 9, which is not Ultra Ball. I thought 9 was Ultra Ball, maybe 10's Ultra Ball. And they've got a very interesting team featuring a Bronzong that can set up Trick Room as well. They've got a Tyranitar, a Whimsicott, a Snorlax, and a Togekiss. So this is a pretty scary team because my opponent can do a handful of different things to try to beat us here. I really like actually Torkoal and Vileplume in this match because I think being able to fire off eruptions could be really strong against my opponent here. I don't necessarily like the Hatterene and DD lead because I think my opponent can reverse Trick Room against me. So I'm going to lead Torkoal and Vileplume in this match. I think Conkeldurr is pretty solid in the back. And I also think that I might bring Hatterene in the back just as like a backup kind of Trick Room setter mid to late game. I think I like that. I don't think Indeedee makes sense. I don't think Mimikyu is that needed here. So I'm going to do that. So my opponent here has so many different things on their team that I'm not really sure what to expect here. But I think Vileplume could be really strong in terms of putting things to sleep. I do have to be very mindful, though, that the Tyranitar, if it's not on the field on the first turn, it can always switch in to take away from my Chlorophyll. So for those who don't know, speed is adjusted in the turn, not at the beginning of the turn. So if I have Sun Up and then he goes into Sand, it actually will change things. But it's going to be Snorlax, Togekiss. So I think what I'm going to do here is I think I'm going to actually just Sleep Powder the Togekiss and then Eruption. I think that's a cool play. So let's do that. We're going to Eruption, and I'm going to Sleep Powder the Togekiss. Although, I could go for the Max Ooze into that thing as well. I kind of like that. I like that play, actually. What is my opponent switching in here? Could switch in the Bronzong. Do I want to Max Ooze into that slot, or do I just want to Sleep Powder? I think I'm going to Sleep Powder on the first turn. I do have the Wide Lens, so I have a really high chance to hit. Thank you, Drago, for the 100 bits. This is more of a safer bet, because if he switches into Bronzong, I kind of waste a turn. So I think sleeping the Togekiss is the better play. My opponent does indeed switch out the Togekiss, and does indeed go into the Tyranitar. Okay, so my opponent makes a really good read there to try to switch the speed tiers around. I will hopefully sleep the Tyranitar right now, though, with a Sleep Powder. And I do, so that's really good. I'm probably going to want to switch my Torkoal out, though. And my opponent's actually going to Belly Drum with this Snorlax, which is pretty scary. I am not going to lie. That is very, very scary. And he's probably Gluttony. He is indeed Gluttony. So now I need to make sure I get rid of that Snorlax, because that's a Belly Drum Snorlax right now. That thing is incredibly powerful, and that thing is going to be a problem. So, and it's faster than my Torkoal. So, I get big damage off on him. I do believe I can knock him out with a double target. This is kind of tricky, though. I mean, I do have a Conkeldurr in the back, which is very strong. The T-Tar is not an issue, and it hasn't had a turn of sleep yet. So I can switch into Conkeldurr here. Alternatively, I can just go for the Max Ooze right now. I can also put him to sleep, which I think is the best play. So yeah, I'm going to actually switch out into my Conkeldurr. This is a bit of a big boy play here. And I'm going to Sleep Powder the Snorlax here, because it's a pretty low-risk play, I think, as long as I don't miss. And this gets my Conkeldurr on the field. My opponent's actually going to switch out the T-Tar, probably into Togekiss again. Here comes the Togekiss. I really need to hit this sleep here. And my opponent's actually going to Dynamax their Snorlax. So, my opponent goes to the Dynamax Snorlax to try to live the attack here. So that's pretty crazy. I do have Mach Punch, though, which I can get rid of the Snorlax, which is good. So let's see. My opponent gets a little bit of health back there. I just need to hit this sleep, and we're in a very good spot, though. I do hit it, which is good. All right, Snorlax, you can take a nap, buddy. Okay. And now I have Conk on the field. Obviously, the Togekiss can be a problem right now, though. So I have to make a very difficult play. I have to decide what I think my opponent's going to do here. My thought is I can make a really fancy play, double back out in a Torkoal, change the weather again, and then my Vileplume is then faster. And then I can, you know, I don't know. I mean, I want to get rid of that Snorlax. The Snorlax is a huge threat. So I'm thinking about just getting rid of it. But if he air slashes into me, I'm in a lot of trouble there. And I think Conkeldurr is so good in this match. If I switch the Sun in, though, I can go for a Max Ooze into the... I think that's my play. I'm going to go Torkoal. And I'm going to Dynamax, Max Ooze into the Togekiss, I think. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I think the Togekiss is still going to live this, but my opponent's going to forfeit. All right, we take that. I'm not going to be upset about that. I think my opponent definitely had a chance to win, but maybe mom was calling because it was bedtime. I'm not sure. So we'll take a W there. I mean, I'm not going to be upset about it. So I'll take that. Thanks for the rare candy game. I'm actually curious what the set was. The Togekiss was Babiri Berry. Follow me. It was a support set. Okay. So that's why my opponent gave up, because this Togekiss was not going to do anything to me in that situation. In fact, we were in a very powerful position there. Choice Scarf Arcanine, Mental Herb, Weakness Policy, T-Tar, Focus Sash, and Agawaf. Okay. Actually, a Trick Room team here with Duraludon, which is very interesting. I have the choice of whether I want to try to set Trick Room or try to go against it. I could very much so do Torkoal Vileplume, but I don't think that's the best play. I do think that this is actually an interesting matchup here. I think Hatterene and Didi is really good and just go for Trick Room, but my opponent also has Trick Room, so it's like, what do I think is better here? I like Mimikyu too. I think I'm going to... I definitely am bringing Torkoal. I think I just go Trick Room. But my opponent may have Heat Wave Ninetales. Yeah, it's definitely Drought, Heat Wave, Ninetales. So how do I beat that? I mean, Vileplume is very strong if I put something to sleep. But the Indeedee is going to redirect. And then the Hatterene just bops me. So I can after you Eruption, but I don't think that's enough to knock out Hatterene. And then my opponent gets Trick Room up, and then I am in trouble. So it's kind of tough. But then I'm still sitting there with Trick Room. So yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do Torkoal, Vileplume, Mimikyu, and probably just Hatterene in the back. Let's try that. So I'm gonna lead Mimikyu, or I'm gonna lead Torkoal Vileplume here, and my objective is to get off the Eruption. That puts me in a good spot against Duraludon. It puts me in a good spot against a few different leads. If my opponent leads with like the Trick Room setter, Hatterene and Didi, then that's okay. But I think a lot of times when Trick Room faces Trick Room, they generally don't set Trick Room, because I think my Trick Room sweepers are better than my opponent's here. So here comes Duraludon Ninetales. Okay. So I have a tough call to make. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I think we're going to sleep the Ninetales. And then, I mean, I could just after you Eruption as well. Jester, thank you for the sub love. Welcome to aDrive Army. I mean, I kind of like sleeping the Ninetales here. Because, I mean, Duraludon can hit me, but I can just freely Eruption on the following turn. So, do I want a Heat Wave or do I want an Eruption here? I think I Heat Wave. It's a little safer. And then I think I just sleep the Ninetales. The problem is, if I lose my Vileplume here, how do I win this game otherwise? The Duraludon is the biggest threat to the Pokemon in the back. I don't want to lose my Vileplume, though. Yeah, I'm sure that, I think that thing's definitely going to have Heat Wave. Alright, we're going to Heat Wave, and I'm going to Sleep Powder the Ninetales. My opponent's going to Dynamax the Duraludon, I'm sure. And probably going to go hard into my Vileplume right now. And I'm assuming I'm going to get knocked out here. Let's see here. Alright. Sleep Powder. We hit it. That's good. Let's see what the Duraludon's going to do. And the Duraludon is faster. I'm sorry, the Ninetales is faster. And here comes the Max Wormwind. So this is Dragon. And we live on 2, which is amazing, by the way, because I get the Heat Wave off now. So that was incredible. We lose our attack. That's okay. Heat Wave misses the Ninetales, but it hits the Duraludon. So that was the important part there, was we wanted to hit the Duraludon. Now I can, after you Heat Wave, I think, which is a pretty solid strategy. Or I can sleep the Duraludon, but I think just the after you Heat Wave is probably the best bet. That allows me to get rid of the Duraludon here. I could also sleep it and just attack too. What do you think about this? But if I miss the sleep, that's annoying. Let's Heat Wave and sleep the Duraludon. Let's sleep it. In case he switches. Alright, we hit it anyway, so that's really nice. Take a nap. Let's hope Ninetales doesn't wake. Very nice. That's what I wanted to see. And the Heat Wave comes off here. And we pick up the K on the Duraludon, very nice. Which is very big for us because now my Hatterene in the back can set Trick Room and put ourselves in a really commanding position if I can get that up. Now, obviously, once this Ninetales wakes up, it can destroy me, but... Okay, so here comes Indeedee. That's gonna set up Psychic Surge. Alright. I need to get rid of this Indeedee right now, is what I need to do. So I think I'm gonna double... I think I'm just gonna Heat Wave. And then... Sleep Powder Indeedee again. Or just Sludge Bomb it, maybe? I don't want to Dynamax. I don't think it's worth Dynamaxing. I can sleep the Indeedee, though, and kind of put that thing at bay for a little bit. I think the Ninetales is going to wake up. Let's sleep it. I think Ninetales is definitely waking up this turn. The Indeedee protects. Okay, so the double into the Ninetales is a better play. So my opponent makes a really good play here. Because if he wakes, then he double Heat Waves and gets a double KO. He wakes. He's going to miss, though. No, he's not going to miss. All right, so unfortunate turn of events for me. I make a really bad play. The crit on the Vileplume I don't think matters. I could have Dynamaxed there, but it is what it is. Alright, I think I need to... Oh, I have Mimikyu, not Conk. Okay, that's actually fine, I think. I think we Trick Room, Mimikyu, and then... And Dynamax Psychic into the Ninetales here. What does my opponent have in the back? Duraludon and maybe Hatterene. Okay, so yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna Trick Room here. And we are going to Dynamax Mindstorm into the Ninetales. Although my opponent may redirect that. Which I would assume they do. Okay, so we'll I think Mindstorm still does a lot though. I'm gonna do them a Mindstorm. My opponent may redirect with Follow Me here though. So if I can get Trick Room up here, I think this is a winnable game. But if I don't get Trick Room up here, then we're in trouble. A lucky Heat Wave miss would be really good for us. But we'll see what happens. Thank you, Jester, by the way, for the sub. Let's see here. Follow Me. Now he's going to Helping Hand for the Heat Wave. Okay, so that's not the worst thing for us. He's going to actually Solar Beam. I'm not sure why. Maybe didn't want to miss. I don't know. Set up the grassy terrain. I mean, we're taking this. It just sets up the terrain for us, so that's fine. And this Mindstorm's gonna do... Oh, it doesn't set up the terrain. Why didn't it set up the terrain? Am I confused? And I get the Trick Room off, so this is good for us. And I still have my, Oh, they're not... Oh, it wasn't Dynamax, duh. I don't know why I wasn't thinking that. Okay. So we'll see what the other Pokemon is. It's Hatterene. Okay, so we got the double Hatterene battle here. But that's not the worst thing for us. I think I have to play rough the Hatterene slot. And I think I have to max Starfall the Hatterene slot. And if it gets redirected, it gets redirected. Because the Indeedee isn't an issue if I can get rid of it. Does he protect? Helping Hand. Okay, so he's going to Helping Hand Dazzling Gleam probably. Big KO, baby. Big KO. I got the crit. I think the crit mattered. I think the crit probably mattered there. Maybe not. I don't know. And this play Rob is going to do some nice, probably 40% or so, 30, 40% to the Indeedee. Oh, wow. That's especially defensive Indeedee. Never mind. That's GG's, man. So, this is a pretty crazy episode. We faced a few Trick Room teams, which is always good. Thank you, Creep, by the way, for the love. We faced a few Trick Room teams. Always good to practice against those. We're able to pick up 3 W's in this episode, which is very nice. My opponent's going to forfeit, and they tip their count to us. So, nice W's there. I'm really starting to feel comfortable with this team. I think that Torkoal and Vileplume are a really, really good combination if you don't miss your sleeps. You can see how powerful sleep really is. This team still has work to be done to it, but I think there's a lot of potential here. So we're going to pick up a nice 3 wins, though, which is really, really nice. Keyblade, thank you for the sub love, by the way. And props to my opponents there. But we're going to call that an episode, guys. Be sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you guys are new. And let me know if there's any other Trick Room type variations you want to see. And I think, like I said, we're probably going to start trying to do 2 episodes a day soon. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to go hatch my Q font here and hopefully get that shiny. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.